I've only got enough time for a couple of things today. Ice Cream Gate has obviously got to be part of one. And who better to attack Ice Cream Gate than our favorite conehead herself, Maria Butters-Romo. And look at the Dow futures going up while she's talking about this. After they've taken a shit, how dare they? All right, here we go. Let's, this is recent. Curious. It's almost as if people all over the world are shuffling their money around and trying to find a place to put it, and it's going to end up in the American stock market again. All right, here we go. Oh, wait, wrong page. Sorry. I'll start playing on this, and then I got to click.
The administration claims it is prepared to impose export controls on critical sectors of the Russian economy if Putin invades Ukraine. This as President Biden admits he has no idea what Russia's plan is right.
Do you? Does anybody? Do you know why he said that? I'm sure she saw the, well, no. I take that back. I am not sure she saw the actual press gaggle where he was talking about this that she's referencing. Is it no sound? That's weird. Da 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 da. Dum 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 dum. I'll try to fix it. Is going pretty loud. Is that better? Hold on. It's hot. Turn it down a little bit. Check, check, check. That's way too far down. That's try to inch its way back up and try to, if I get too loud, that'll be all right. Hey, check. Better? Hey. Hopefully it's better. Okay. Out of sync with video on Twitch. That's a restream thing. I apologize. It gets that way sometimes. It's peculiar. And the only way I can fix it in any meaningful way, you can reload your page on Twitch. Sometimes that helps. But also restream. If I reload it, it'll kill everything. Sorry. But hopefully you can put up with this, and we'll post it later in its full form. It'll be up on YouTube if you want to watch it without. I don't know what's happening. All right, here we go.
Now, and we are awaiting to see whether or not.
Yes, like reading tea leaves. Biden says, wait, get your closed caption out of the way. It's difficult to predict Putin's next move. It is, because there's no logical reason for him to go into Ukraine.
He sends troops to Eastern Europe.
Can you tell me whether you think, sir, that the risk of an invasion is increasing or decreasing or steady just as it has been these recent days?
You know, I'll be completely honest with you. It's a little bit like reading tea leaves.
Jeremy, right?
Look at this. What the fuck do you want him to say? That he doesn't, and then that's when Putin acts, or he does, and that's when Putin doesn't, because he's using it as a psychological manipulation for the country and for Ukraine anyways? Or do you want him to go, the guy doesn't know what he's doing? He hasn't made up his own mind. His own people are arguing against it. We do know that. We do know that Putin's own people are going, this is a terrible idea. But Putin's a nutcase. He's an emotional basket case these days. He has been for the last 12 months. He's always been weird. He's always been reactionary. He's always been violent. But he did it with sort of a mafia-esque kind of cool control. That's fading. He's been snapping at reporters in a way he's never done before. And they've got real financial problems in Russia right now that he cannot answer. So this is his wag the dog. So there's no real way you can know what the hell he's up to.
I was Tennessee Senator, Senate Commerce Committee member, Marsha Blackburn. Senator, what do you think he means by reading tea leaves? I don't understand.
He means that there is no logic to it. And don't say you don't understand what tea leaves means. I mean, if you're going to bring somebody on who won't understand culturally something about sort of divination or witchcraft, Marsha Blackburn's probably not the person.
It is astounding to me. You have Vladimir Putin, who has turned Russian adventurism into an Olympic sport. He has a history of that. He did it in 2008 with Georgia, 2014 with Crimea. He is poised to do it again during these Olympics.
So what do you want him to do? Are you suggesting we attack Russia preemptively? Is that the suggestion?
And then you have Joe Biden, who is out eating ice cream and doesn't seem to know what is going on and doesn't care, and a spokesperson over at the State Department who's saying, well, I don't see what Afghanistan has to do with.
Nothing. It doesn't. It has nothing to do with it, other than the fact that Russia now knows that we are not there anymore, and they're going to deal with problems from Afghanistan very soon coming up through Kazakhstan and these other countries, and that's going to be a problem for them that we were holding in check by being there and dicking around over there, that now they have to deal with.
Emboldening Russia. Maria, these are the reasons that Tennesseans and people all over this country are just aghast.
Are they? Yeah, why aren't we attacking Russia right now? People in Tennessee, people in Knoxville, I'm sure, are waking up every morning going, why have we not nuked Eastern Russia at this point, or Western Russia?
With what is going on. When you combine this with Russia, Ukraine, and it matters what happens there. We know that Putin is trying to put the band back together. He wants the old Soviet Union. This is a birthday, big birthday year for him, and he wants this to be a part of the celebration. And
is that what he's doing? Oh, it's really just a birthday present to himself. That's why he's amassing troops in Belarus and Crimea and on the Ukrainian border, because he just wants to give himself a little something. You know what I mean? A little me gift. I certainly hope his family or the other oligarchs haven't already seized Ukraine, and boy, is he gonna be upset.
we have the United States, who is...
You can't hear me? Check, check, one. Everybody hear me? Hello, check. Hello, check.
Not solid in our response. It's why I wrote the president back in November and said, you need to begin sales of lethal assistance to Ukraine so they can defend them.
We already have, dum-dum. I told them to do what they were already doing, and I'll be goddamn if they're not doing it. Hold on. U.S. sends Ukraine lethal. That should probably cover it, one would think. We literally just saw it. We talked about this like on the morning show. Sorry if the... Hold on. I have an idea. While this page is opening and taking for goddamn ever. Let's go back into here. We'll go into here. And then I'm going to turn off Twitch and turn it off. 3, 2, 1, 0. 3, 2, 1, 0. And then turn it back on. And then reload this page to see if that does anything. It's the amount of like the internet back here is horrifying. Literally, like, I could just hold my iPad up and hope that it gets signal from somewhere on the street. So, all right, we'll wait for that to wake up. But then this guy, U.S. sends, okay, there we go. Hold on, I'll do this. The easiest way is to do it on here, so give me 1 second. Oh, God, the system just... I'm getting spoiled by the system we have at the house in Vegas at this point because it's so much better. U.S. sends lethal Ukraine. That'll give me enough stuff. Sorry if it gets choppy while it transitions. Yeah, here you go. This is, I mean, it's so stupid, it's painful. There you go. Here you go. Oh. Hi, dum-dum. There you go. U.S. sends 300. Dismiss. Javelin missiles to Ukraine and latest military aid during Russia's standoff. And by the way, there's a bunch of this shit. So, U.S. lethal aid arrives in Kyiv during border buildup. U.S. shipment of lethal aid reaches Ukraine and Russia. NBC News, 90 tons of military aid from U.S. arrives in Ukraine as Russia. 200 million of lethal aid provided by President Biden in late December and includes a U.S. sends first shipment of military aid to U.S. approves allied weapons shipments to Ukraine. So we're not the only ones sending it. They're sending it too. Like we're okaying it coming from everywhere else. Ugh, God, just the lazy shit on America crew back at it again. Marsha America Sucks Blackburn.
You need to impose sanctions, both
Yeah, they're doing that too, stupid.
economic sanctions on the country, on Putin, on the oligarchs, and
Yeah, they are. But they got to hold. They can't do all of them because you got to get the guy. Got to give the guy a chance to pull back. Because if you just open fire, why the fuck is he gonna like? You can aim the gun, but if you open fire, the negotiations are over. And if you use up all the sanctions, just sanction everything, sanction every possible thing, right? Until such time as, okay, hold on. I'm going to dump off of, there you go. So, sorry about this Twitch. We're going off and back on again. 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000, 6, 1,000. All right, and then we're back. All right. Good luck. All right, there we go. Hopefully it will link back up, and I apologize for it's a weird flub. That's the only fix I can come up with. So, bless you. There you go. So, I mean, this is just goofy. Like, these are all things that are being done.
firm in this and do it before an action takes place.
They did. But then you have to have some left over to put on after the action, because if they go, you've done all the sanctioning you can do, what else you going to do to me? You back him into a corner, you have to give him a way out. Otherwise, if he's backed into a corner, the only value he has in the circumstance is to attack. But this is what happens when, you only have the coloring book version of Sun Tzu.
Because he moves when the world's attention is elsewhere, like the Olympics, with his history, and the Olympics are coming.
Yeah, so how worried are you, or how worried should we be that Russia and China are cozying up even more together?
Ask Vietnam, dum-dum. Because Russia just circumvented China's relationship with Vietnam last week, and they're pissed about it.
As both countries chart their courses, Russia's
going to attack during the Olympics. So is China. So China's just going to hold the world's athletes hostage while they attack Taiwan. That's the plan. Holy shit.
President Vladimir Putin lashed out against the diplomatic boycott of the Beijing Olympics, vowing support for China.
So
he actually,
again, so fucking what? Why do we give a shit? You don't think they're going to support China in any way that they can anyways? What more? Again, what more is he going to do? So what? Oh my God. Did you hear? Vladimir Putin says, if we're not nicer to China, he's going to be nicer to China. What kind of middle school mean girl bullshit is this?
That the politicization of sport. 10 countries led by the United States announced a diplomatic boycott of the Olympics. Not sure really what that does.
Oh, God. The diplomatic boycott of the Olympics is where they don't send any officials. The athletes go and they're filmed and they compete, but you don't send anybody over for glad handing, shaking hands, recognition of the regime, any of that stuff, and it has a massive impact. Meanwhile, may I remind you that this woman just told us that Putin got mad and said he was going to be nice to China, as if our diplomatic boycott, which is genuine and material, that's nothing. But Putin going, well, if they're not going to be nice, I'm going to be nice.
But as a result of that, it's only bringing Russia and China further together.
Yeah, next thing you know, Russia will stop sinking Chinese fishing boats in the northern Pacific sometime after they take all of Russia's fish.
You're correct about that. And bear in mind, Xi and Putin are scheduled to meet during the Olympics. And diplomatic boycott.
Well, if so, Putin's going to have to come to China because Xi is not leaving China. Ever.
You know, Xi Jinping doesn't give a ripping flip about a diplomatic.
A ripping, I beg your pardon, a what?
You know, Xi Jinping doesn't give a ripping flip about a diplomatic boycott.
A ripping flip. Is that just like a big wet fart, a ripping flup. Is this one of those things where, you know, in the name of Christianity, I don't swear, but I reverse words, like a flipping rip or a flying fuck, but a flipping rip is a flying fuck, but I don't say it. I mean it. In my heart, I'm saying it, but I use other words, so it's fine.
He wants is to have those cameras there. He is going through this purification of the internet. He is imposing extreme censorship on the athletes, on the Chinese people. So that
yeah, we know. This is an IOC matter. We're against it. What's the option? I mean, go ahead, Blackburn. Call for all those gymnasts from Tennessee and all the people who are playing in the games. Tell them to come back. I mean, put your money where your mouth is, dum-dum. Call for it. Call for all athletes in the Olympics from Tennessee not to compete. Call for it. What's stopping you? I'm dead serious. She absolutely could do it. Even if it doesn't amount to anything, she could state unequivocally, I don't believe any athletes from Tennessee should compete. And I'm talking to the governor and everyone else to impose sanctions on them if they win or whatever, if they go. This is just gibberish.
he can tailor the message that, look at China. We're launching our digital yuan. We are the most progressive country. We're participating.
Yeah, but everybody knows it's bullshit. Blackburn says China will take advantage of every opportunity to obtain information, use it against the U.S. Yes, they're going to hack all the ski jumpers' phones and because they've all got the CIA on speed dial. The fuck?
In our Belt and Road Initiative, we're building great power competition. They want to come out as number one from this. We ought not to be there. We should be doing the USA Freedom Games and having...
Yeah, pull your fucking folks back.
Our athletes competing here and not have our corporate sponsorships and our TV cameras there.
Well, I don't think they are. I think NBC is now going to use the feed from there.
Them
but whatever.
Tell their version of the story.
Well, there is no version of a story in a race. You won or you didn't. That's the part. That's what makes it a little bit easier. Who gives a rat's ass what the narrative is? I mean, here's the thing. With all that everybody knows about China in the last 2 years especially, about how the CCP runs shit, do you think any opening ceremony with thousands of people, you know, or hundreds of thousands of people holding flags and stomping around is going to impress the world or just scare the shit out of everybody and go, yikes, look what they're making these people do?
Well, what's your take on now China saying that it's pledging a, quote, purification of the internet? Can you imagine, Senator, China wants all the internet to only say positive things about China ahead of the Beijing Winter Olympics and the Lunar New Year.
So what? Good luck.
The CCP planning to manage home pages of media sites and news pages to make sure that they present only, quote, positive information. Purification of the internet.
It's propaganda. We know. It's what they've been doing this.
They're calling it, Senator.
Right. And our media outlets ought not to be there. Imagine if they submit, if you've got our media outlets and they submit to the Chinese Communist Party taking control of their pages.
Well, no. The Chinese Communist Party is not going to control NBC's homepage. Are you out of your fucking mind?
And only putting the things on their pages. You know, I want to know what has happened to Peng Shui. Where is the tennis player? What is going on there?
Right. As do we. And the BBC spoke to her, and it was all bullshit. And we know this. This is why we shouldn't be there at all. But the NBC's not going to be running stories about that shit, and they're not going to be, if they do run a story about it, it's not going to be taken down by the CCP.
To know when the Chinese Communist Party is planning to surveil our athletes, forcing them to download an app. What is going to happen to them? if they say
Yeah.
something negative about the Chinese Communist Party.
They're going to go home. There's a lot of cadmium and arsenic in Chinese food, like rice, vegetables, and meat, including... Well, Anthony, there's been a huge problem with cadmium and lead in rice. Cadmium coming from the ground where they grow the rice, and lead from the processing. It's a big problem over there right now. That's the other thing. It's like the fucking food. Like, yeah, that's almost my concern. This is just... They're not going to lock up American athletes or athletes from countries all over the world, but they could poison them while they're there just by, not on purpose.
Yeah, and I want to know why globalists who were raised and born in America have now submitted to the CCP, like Ray Dalio, who is the founder of Bridgewater Associates.
Ray Dalio's an asshole. He and Peter Balsack are both lunatics. By the way, Dalio's like a hedge fund dude, and almost all the money from his hedge fund comes from Chinese support. So of course he's going to say, oh no, the market's fine. I don't know why I couldn't. I used to trust these globalists like crazy, and now, good Lord.
Who has managed money for the Communist Party. He gave an interview to Bloomberg the other day, and it's going to run as soon. And he said the U.S. is on the decline and China is rising, Senator.
So, what? Ray Dalio's like hedge fund has got what, 1.4% growth or something? It's like the worst hedge fund in the world. It's just got a shit ton of funny money from China in it, giving it an artificial inflation. Nobody would invest in that shit.
We understand that his son lives in China. He runs a charity in China, Matt Dalio. We understand that Ray Dalio manages money for the CCP.
Yeah, so why would he suddenly, all of a sudden, as a friend of Maria Bartiromo's, start saying that China's kicking ass and taking names? And gee, why would Fox News parrot that remark constantly?
So, in effect, he is funding their expansion. What do you want to say to these people who are funding the expansion of the CCP at the same time the CCP is making it very clear that they will overtake the United States as the #1 superpower, and maybe those companies that...
They're not. Who gives a shit? What the fuck is this about? Oh, thank you, Robert. Appreciate that. You know what I mean? Like, where in this is a story? Because this is what do you say about what they're saying? There is zero facts or circumstance in any of this. Have you noticed that? Am I losing my mind here? Am I going completely fucking nuts? There's not been a single fact in any of this of measure, and the only ones like that, we want to know if Peng Shuai is okay, or any of those things, which is universal. It's bipartisan. It's nonpartisan, in fact. She's not offering any kind of solution to this. And she's making up shit about, well, they'll say stuff about our news, and then what are we going to say? The opposite? Yes. Yes, we are. This is all like, he said this, and she's...
Americans are unwittingly invested in are those same companies that will turn around and fight against the United States.
Unwittingly? Nobody who invests in Dalio is unwittingly... Oh, are you telling me the people that invest at that scale don't know that the Chinese military owns half of every tech firm in the country? By law? They don't know this? Are you kidding me? Why do you think they hedge their investments in China on other shit?
Because the important companies are obviously tied to the military in China.
Right. If you know that on Fox Business, you think the people who are putting money into Dalio's fund don't know that? Of course they know that. They're assholes too.
Yeah, I think we have to look at it like this, Maria. The CCP is looking at President Biden and this administration, and they are laughing.
Oh, God, this fucking bullshit again. They're laughing at us. No, they're not. They just had another dam break. They're running out of energy. They have rolling blackouts. They had to make fake snow for the Winter Olympics, and they used chemicals to do it and have poisoned the water around Beijing. It's going to drive down the population there by a percentage point. The only country in the air in the region that's aging faster than China is South Korea, and South Korea is automating everything, so it doesn't fucking matter. Yeah, they're going to get older, but all the young people jobs that they used to have are all going to be, you know, fucking vending machines.
Because he is not holding them to account.
What are you talking about? Does she not know about... She, of course, knows about the AUKUS agreement. Does she know that Japan's going to join it and call it the JAUKUS? AUKUS? The JAUKUS? I'm going to call it the JAUKUS. I like JAUKUS better. That Japan's joining it? The meetings with the Quad? The fact that we have our boats in Japan? Like, we've talked about this shit. This is like a talking point from fucking October. Did she just wake up? Is that why she has bedhead? Did she fall asleep in October and wake up just now? Oh, sorry. Right before I pass out from all this wine, what were the talking points again? I'm sure they'll still be good when I wake up in January.
In the manner that President Trump held them to account, whether it was sanctions or trade or other components of their participation, finding out what happened with COVID. So
finding out what happened with COVID. He issued a report on it. They did an investigation. And basically what they said was, short of invading the fucking country, we found out all we're going to find out. But we're out of there. Same thing with Afghanistan. Jesus Christ.
They
so
see
lazy.
this as a clear runway to take off. And
oh, do they?
this is why they are bullying Taiwan. It is why they are continuing to push against us, and why they are not going to give us answers that we need. And these companies...
No, they're not going to give us answers that you need. If you believe that they either intentionally or accidentally on purpose created and released COVID, what impetus would they ever have to tell to tell us, like we're the only one would hear it? They admit to us, hey guys, we created the Wuhan virus, but don't tell the rest of the world. What are you talking about? We have press freedom. Well, then we can't tell you.
Need to say nothing good comes from communism. Never does, never will.
Yeah. Well, they're not.
Wait, I'm sorry. We're supposed to get. That's the concession you're looking for from Biden? That you want him to get China to say nothing good comes from communism in their 100th anniversary year? I don't know why he won't be able to do that.
Saying that, Senator. So we're going to keep a spotlight on.
Hold on. What?
Need to say nothing good comes from communism. Never does, never will.
Yeah. Well, they're not saying that, Senator. So we're going to keep a spotlight on all of this, and it's great to talk with you as always. Thank you so much, Senator Marsha Blackburn. We'll be right back.
Well, holy hell, what was that gibberish? Trump literally golfed during COVID. And the title of this is Biden's out eating ice cream, doesn't seem to know what's going on. He knows exactly what's going on. He knows enough to know that there are elements of it that we're going to have to respond to, and we're not going to act preemptively against a nuclear-powered country. If she's suggesting that, fucking say it. Ugh, what a waste of time.